of the alcohol, la 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all, la 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 la. But my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every motherfucker must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I am Russ.
And I'm Chris.
And this is episode 291. 291, back in the virtual nerd basement. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. Sorry we're running a little late today, guys. I didn't get home until literally 15 minutes ago. I want
to give a big shout out to CD for being a 12-month subscriber.
Hey, CD, 12 months. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, I'll toast you once I actually have something in my glass.
That's really, wow, that was so good. Thank you very much, man. I mean, it's been great having you on the show. It's been great having you hang out with us and on this little journey of ours, our journey of 5 years.
We're almost at 5 years.
Holy smokes.
Hey, Auntie Dawn.
Hey, Auntie, nice to see you. We got 5 people on so far. That's great. Of course, Renee over there, Wings Kook, checking out, handling our the things going on in the chat room as well, keeping an eye on stuff. Wow, hell of a week, huh?
Yeah, lots of stuff going on.
Lots of stuff going on.
We can start with the big news out of England. Queen Elizabeth II passed away.
96 years old.
Yep.
Longest reign of a monarch of all time.
No, it's not. Second.
Well, second longest. Well, it's the longest English, wasn't it?
Louis.
Longest reign of an English monarch?
I think so, because I think it's Louis the 14th was the longest.
Oh, well, that's a French one.
Yeah.
He reigned longer than she did?
By less than by like 2 years, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. So yeah, it's pretty intense. I mean,
so we got King Charles again now, which
King Charles, yes. So Chuck.
Yeah, so he's King Charles III.
Correct.
The first King Charles got beheaded by his own people.
Well, that's dark.
The second King Charles reigned over England during the Great Plague and the Great Fire of London.
Also dark.
Yeah. So let's hope he has a better reign.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
It's not going to be probably particularly long, considering that he's 72.
Right.
So Charles is like just a scotch older than my dad. So
he's younger than my dad, actually.
Mm-hmm. I think my dad's 70. So just turned 70. So that's just wild to me. I mean, she has been the queen our entire lives.
Yeah.
So, and that has been, I mean, there are a lot of, it's funny, it's interesting because I've heard a lot of people talk, like, say negative things about her. I've heard a lot of people like say good things about her, like she's, or like more so that she was in a difficult position that she never asked for. Of course, she never asked for it. She was born into it. It was her birthright, apparently. So, but yeah, she was in a difficult position. And the thing is honestly, yeah, she may be the queen, but it's a position of like, it's a figurehead. She's just a figurehead. She doesn't actually make policy.
And, I saw something about, well, how will Biden's, administration, work with the new monarch? And I'm like, he won't.
Right. They do a cursory kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they are figureheads. They are still the heads of state in a completely, basically, I forget. I can't think of the word now. But anyway,
they don't have real power.
Yeah, they
don't have real political power.
They're the token royalty.
Right. Yeah. I say, if anything, that what they do have, I mean, they have, because they are one of the richest families in the world, if not the richest family in England. Although I
Ceremonial.
believe
Thank you, Auntie Don.
ceremonial. Thank you. I believe that J.K. Rowling actually at one point did surpass the Queen in wealth until she gave away a lot of her money, to charity. They do curry certain favor and respect among the British government, but still, it's not.
But
I mean,
they
and I
no
believe
longer make the laws.
yeah, and I believe they still carry a certain level of ambassadorial like power.
Right. It's all
But
it's all
still,
ceremonial.
exactly. And so the Queen of England ultimately is not going. There's not
Best
going to be a big,
plunderers in history. Yes.
yeah. Oh, for sure. And that's the other thing too. Like, a friend of mine, or I saw this one post where it is a picture of her, and she was all decked out in all kinds of like different things. And people were saying, oh, this is like, this is from this thing that they conquered, and this from this, and this, right? Like pointing out all the different things that she was holding, like,
Yep.
and I'm like, yeah, because the British Empire was a conquering nation. That's what they did.
They colonized.
They colonized. And so
just long enough to take everything that they wanted and then said, peace out, you're on your own.
Yeah. I always found it amazing that this nation, on this very small, relatively small nation, was so incredibly powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It grew to be the at one point the most powerful nation in the world. And it's just incredible that or at least at the very least one of the very most powerful nations in the world. So anyway, for those of you that well, like a couple of my friends are like, fuck the Queen, she was an imperialist, racist piece of shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know for sure, but
Philip was.
Yeah. Well, and they also talked about the fact that apparently it's one of the reasons why Meghan and one of the princes, what is his name? Harry. Why they fucking peaced out. They left the family because of the Queen's reaction and the way she treated Meghan Markle.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's she's part black or whatever. It's Jesus Christ. So I don't know. Cash infused blood
does work
though. I'll drink to her longevity.
I liked John Oliver had a great a line about it today. He's like, everyone was so many people were shocked that a 96-year-old woman died of natural causes.
Yeah. But anyways, it was, I'll drink to the Queen is dead. Long live the king. Yep. I don't know. Charles has always been, from what I understand, he's been a decent guy. He's championed a lot of like environmental causes and stuff like that. So maybe we'll see that kind of stuff. That'd be cool. I mean, he is 72, so who knows how long his reign is going to be. And it should be interesting. I'm sure we'll see a new king or queen in the next few years. So that being said, how was the rest of your week?
It was pretty good. I had my golf outing on Saturday. So, I mean, it was Labor Day. It was Labor Day at the beginning of the week, which we actually covered on Labor Day because that was our last show. Mm-hmm. But then I had my football draft on Tuesday. That went pretty good. Had a great time. Then Wednesday had my first night back to cornhole. That was a lot of fun. We won both games. Played really well. Thursday, Friday, I don't think I did anything. Saturday, I had the golf outing. Tied for first and then lost on hole difficulty because that's the tiebreaker, is whoever does best on the most difficult holes of the course. And the other team actually birdied the most difficult hole in the course, and we only parred it. So, but had a great time, great weather, little hot, but otherwise great. But yeah, just overall kind of a busy but fun week.
Right on. Same kind of with me. I mean, I don't play golf, so there's that. But crazy kind of like busy week just with work and that's the reason why we're running a little late. We're pretty much staying till 7:30, 8 o'clock, Tuesday through Thursday at work now. So I will be running. Hopefully, Tuesday I should be able to get out of work on around 7:30 on Tuesdays. I just trying to get out of there, trying to go like, okay, in case I'm running late tomorrow, blah 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 blah, because I have to make a supply run for something in the morning and all this other shit. So we got a big group of volunteers coming in the morning, so had to kind of send out some instructions, and then we got a lot going on at work. I went to Ren Fair again on Saturday. It was a nice day. It was warm, but not ridiculous. It rained a bit at the end of the day, which kind of scared, like pushed out the mundanes. I had a friend at the end of the night. I had a friend was in town from Florida. Actually, a couple of friends were in town from Florida, from the Bay Area Ren Fair that visited. So that was nice. Got to show one of them around, particularly. She had never been here. The other couple had been here before, but my friend Jacina had never been here before, so I got to kind of give her the Russ tour. And just kind of one thing after another,
Mhm.
I did get the week before Labor Day weekend was Dragon Con, and we talked a little bit about Dragon Con, that both of us really want to go someday.
Mhm.
But Wakefire, my friends in the band Wakefire, Russ Turner, and I'm friends with everybody in the band, but Russ is my partner in my body paint project, and then Jared and Bubba and some of the other people are friends of mine. But they went to Dragon Con and they were one of the stage acts, and they opened the show on Thursday night. They said it was an amazing time. They had an incredible time, although they don't get paid for that gig, the event does give them a room, and it gives them all their badges for free, and it gives them like companion badges so like you can bring your mate, and it allows them to set up a table and
I was
sell
gonna say
merch.
they get to sell stuff at least, right?
Right, and they made a huge profit. Russ was really, really pleased, and I got their new CD. If you guys want to check it out, it is called Voyages, Dreams, and Other Stories. Wakefire, really fantastic band. They are also at the Renaissance Festival for the next 3 more weeks, because 3 more weeks left of the Ren Fair. Holy shit, we're already at week 5 coming up. Season has just flown by.
Mhm.
So since I'm not as much involved, so other than that, that's about it really. I mean, just kind of kicking along. So what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a beer that I brought back from Canada, from my trip to
Kelsapries.
Canada.
Canada.
And this is one I bought specifically for the name, because I wanted to do this one on the show, and the can. This company, Great Lakes Brewery, not to be confused with Great Lakes Brewing in Cleveland, Ohio. This is Great Lakes Brewery in Toronto. It actually says that they're technically in Etobicoke, Ontario.
Say that again.
Etobicoke.
Etobicoke?
Yeah, Etobicoke.
They're in Etobicoke, everybody.
So, but it's called Octopus Wants to Fight IPA. And
say again.
Octopus wants to fight IPA. And
what? Why? What? Why? What? I don't know. All right.
It is a slightly hazy IPA. It has a lot of tropical notes.
You're tropical
on
notes.
the nose. It is. I'm gonna take another sip here. It actually has a lot of tropical flavor. It's really tasty. Actually, I like this one. Got a little bit of a dry, bitter finish, but overall very good. Very tasty. Not overly hoppy. Not like a crazy hop bomb. I'd put it probably close to like Two Hearted in the realm of what the hops are like. But on the back it says, Octopus wants to fight. Our pet octopus is a bit of a jerk. He's that guy who has a couple, then either tells you how much he loves you or threatens to fight you. So we brewed this IPA with 8 varieties.
Who doesn't have friends like that?
So we brewed this IPA with 8 varieties of hops and 8 types of malt. We targeted 88 IBU and 8.8% to appease him. Sadly, when he found out that we'd fabricated all of the above info, it only made him more volatile. We are starting to realize that an octopus was a poor choice for a pet. It is, let's see, water, malted barley, oats, wheat, hops, yeast, and then it gives the ingredients in French. Doesn't actually say what the actual ABV is, but yeah. Overall, though, it is a very tasty. And it is an IPA that some IPAs that I think there's a certain kind of hop, and I haven't figured out which one it is yet, that makes me burp. But yeah, I'll give this a solid, I'd say 4 for this one. It's actually really good. It's not my favorite beer that I brought back, but it's definitely up there. It's pretty good.
All right.
So
interesting.
What about, so if you're in Canada, I don't know if they distribute this in the U.S. CD said he could probably find that around him.
All right.
But I know you don't find these in Michigan. Which reminds me, Friday, you were supposed to take it last time, but this Friday at gaming, make sure you take one of the summer speeds that I got for you home.
Okay.
So you can have it on the show.
Okay.
So it's a different kind. Yes, the melon hop does usually do that to me, Renee, but that one actually causes more of like an acid reflux issue that I've had. So maybe it is melon, and I'm not reacting to it as strongly as I used to. But what about you? What are you drinking? Pepsi? Vikings blood.
It's Vikings blood. I think after a day like today, a long day like today, I'm gonna need it again tomorrow. I'm gonna need some mead.
That's good
I can't
stuff.
recall whether I've reviewed this on the show or if I ever drank it on the show. I mentioned it, I think. But this is from Dansk Mjord. It's the Nordic honey wine with hibiscus and hops added. Viking blood, based on a recipe from about year 1700. It's 19% alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
One of the strongest drinks I think I have drank on this. Now, this is a hell of a great mead. I have mentioned it before. I just don't know if I've reviewed it on the show. It says the world's oldest fermented beverage made from honey has been popular drink from Europe to Australia dating back to long before Viking times. One of the earliest references to fermented honey can be found in the Hindus of India's holy books, the Veda books, which date back 4,000 years and possibly even earlier than that. The oldest known recipe for mead to be written down in the Nordic countries was in 1520 by the Archbishop Olaus Magnus. What a great name, Olaus Magnus.
Yeah, I'm writing that down. That's going to be a dwarf you meet.
Yeah, Olaus Magnus. The recipe comprised of water, honey, hops, and brewer's yeast, and concludes that on the 8th day it may be drunk, but the longer it is left, the purer and better it will be. Our products are brewed based on a recipe from about year 1700, and the ingredients are pure and 100% natural, guaranteed free from additives of any kind. Honey is the major and most important item in the recipe. Serve slightly chilled in a wine glass as an aperitif or over ice with fruits at room temperature. In a port wine glass, it is excellent as dessert wine, or for winter warmer, heat the liquid without boiling and serve in a mug. It was funny last night. Stella was like, I think I might have some mead. I was like, well, that mead that we have is best either served as a, sorry, I got fruit fly in here. It's best either sipped like this, or you pour it in a tankard and you drink it like a Viking. So, hungry. It's great stuff. Go. It is strong. It will fuck you up. I haven't drank it in a long time. I think one of the last times I drank it, I passed out in a tent and woke up to like pornography playing on my tablet. I can't remember how that happened. I have no idea. But people questioned me about it the next morning. What were you playing in your tent? What was going on in that tent of yours? So,
Yeah, CD Vikings Blood is really good.
Stuff. It's really great. It is. It's about $30 a bottle, though. Retails for about $30 a bottle. So it is not a cheap sold, right? It is not an inexpensive drink, but it is well worth it. It is a fantastic mead. Now there's like that is from Dansk. There are they have like maybe 2 or 3 other brands of or flavors or whatever types of
styles.
They're all wine type of meads though. They're not like the Bee Nectar,
session meads,
Zombie Killer session meads like that, which are more like a little more like a cider. This is a wine fucking mead. This is real deals. So check it out. It's in the great stoneware bottle too.
Yeah.
This is not your this ain't your daddy's fucking glass bottle here. This is a really great. I mean, honestly, these are great for you keep the cork and stuff, and this is great for like fucking cosplay or taking it to the LARP or just whatever, man. It's a really cool bottle or really heavy stoneware.
You can kill somebody with that thing.
You could, seriously, man, dude. So anyway, you probably have seen it.
Yeah,
CD. It's pretty much it's widely distributed.
Yeah,
across the
and CD, you probably have seen Great Lakes stuff around you, but remember, this is not. There are 2 Great Lakes, and I mentioned that. There is Great Lakes Brewing Company out of Cleveland, Ohio, that does Edmund Fitzgerald and beers like that. And then there's also Great Lakes Brewery out of Toronto, Canada, which is where this comes from. I don't know if they distribute into the U.S. If they do, it's not here in Michigan.
Now, I like this stuff because, like, we had some...
$25 from Total Wine.
That's not bad. We had...
but it may be cheaper in Wisconsin because, we've got the strictest... some of the highest sin taxes in the country when it comes especially when it comes to like wine and stuff.
Don't understand that. Now it's I'd have to say Moniac is slightly better, but it is also a slightly different kind of mead.
Yeah, I agree. I think Moniac is better.
Moniac is a Scottish mead though, and this is a Nordic mead, so it is definitely different. This has got hops in it. It's a much different flavoring. I'd say it's got a little bit more of a bite to it than Moniac. Moniac's a little smoother, and this has got a little bit of a spicy bite to it. But again, fantastic.
I think Viking Blood's a little higher in alcohol too. I think Moniac's down around the 15-16%.
Yeah, it's not quite as high as this is. So anyway, we should move on. I think
we've got a lot to talk about tonight.
We do. Viking Blood from Dansk Mead and Jod. And what was yours again?
Mine was
Octopus Will Fight.
Octopus Wants to Fight.
Wants to Fight. Unbelievable.
The artwork, it also sold me on it.
Some people realize some of these guys, they need help.
Yeah,
I see it. There
we go.
Yeah, you're crazy pants. I don't.
So we start with one of the things. So we had, I don't know if we want to start off with the whole Disney stuff because D23 was over the weekend, including Disney Plus Day and all that, and a shit ton of stuff came out of that. But one of the things that came out was I did see a rumor. Now there's been rumors like about this particular person for a while joining the MCU, and that's Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And I saw the latest rumor is that he has been cast and that he will be playing Victor Von Doom in the Fantastic Four movie.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I can see that. Victor Von Doom, although he is supposed to be his face is supposed to look scarred and horrible. He starts off as very handsome. Now.
Oh, there's Trevor. I don't know if you
I've always and in the voice, like Victor's voice, I've always thought of that he's so highly educated and whatnot, that he probably speaks speaks English extremely well. And so I don't think he would have some sort of very German accent, sort of say. I don't think he'd sound like a Transylvanian either, even though like Latveria is supposed to kind of be in the Transylvania area of Europe, the Romanian kind of area and stuff. But so I could see him being very urbane, having a very almost British kind of mode of speaking with a slight kind of twinge to it, a slight like Middle European kind of twinge.
Well, yeah, I mean, saying he was British educated or something like that, even just.
So, but I also think Cavill is a good enough actor that I'm sure he could pull off any kind of accent. And he's supposed to be very charming and urbane and kind of an ass, but handsome.
And he's not a little guy. He is supposed to be a big kind of buff guy,
a big man as well. Yeah. So I'm not mad at that. I mean, would I rather have seen him playing Captain Britain? Absolutely.
Yes.
But
there's no talk that they're bringing Captain Britain in anytime soon.
No. There were some rumors here and there about bringing in either Captain Britain or Union Jack, to kind of be one of those characters that plays off of Captain America. But I haven't seen anything about that yet. So, and in all honesty, Captain Britain has got tighter connection to the X-Men anyway than he does to any of the other areas of the Marvel Universe. They signed a whole bunch of actors. They signed, I think, Denzel Washington too. I think there was there was some sort of report recently that Disney just recently signed a bunch of really big deal actors. So that could be a big thing. So Henry Cavill. I mean, I'm down. That sounds good to me.
I'm like, you know what? I'm good with that. I can see him. I want somebody good as Doom, because I want a good Fantastic Four movie.
Absolutely. And I think they are there. I think that we're actually going to see that this time around. I think they've seen, after the first two being kind of lackluster. And I'll stand by the fact that I don't think they're terrible. Are they weak? A bit. Yeah. The first one was okay. The second one was a bit weak. But they were still, they were palatable at the very least. There was aspects of it that were pretty good. In fact, and in all honesty, Chris Evans as the Human Torch was great.
I mean, Jessica Alba was a little weak as Sue, but other than that, I enjoyed the casting of the Fantastic Four itself.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I mean, I was kind of indifferent to was it Rhys Ifans? The guy, no, not Rhys Ifans. The guy who played Mr. Fantastic. And I really didn't care for Jessica Alba as Sue. I thought she just read too young. Other than that, it was, it was okay. Their choice for Victor Von Doom was not the best in my opinion. I thought he was probably the least interesting. He wasn't all that great.
Ian Grufford.
Ian Grufford.
Welsh guy. I don't even know that's how his last name's said, but
I think it's actually something like Juan, something like that. Or
his name is it's Ioan is his first name, right. And his last name is Gruffud.
Right.
The Welsh are very much like the double letters.
Yeah, they like to use a lot of consonants.
A lot of double D's, actually.
So also, I just think that they're going to do okay, because like I said, the first two, kind of lackluster. I thought the thing was great too, particularly considering that it was all done for the most part,
And
practical effects.
I think Michael Chiklis did a great job.
Michael Chiklis did a good job. The third Fantastic Four movie, which was intended to be, or just four or something like that, it was intended to be a reboot, and it was absolutely awful. I've said it many times. It's one of the few Marvel movies, or few movies that I did sit through it. I hated every minute of it, and it's the only time I've said, you know what, you don't need to see this one. Because most of the time I'm kind of like, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to watch the bad so you understand the good. No, there's nothing good about it. It just will piss you off. So,
for me, I want to see Cavill get something good though for the MCU, because, God damn it, the King of the Nerds needs a good role in the MCU.
I agree. But yeah, so there's that. What do you want to do next?
Well, did you have anything that you wanted to get
I got
to?
a bunch of shit. I'm just kind of clicking on a bunch of things.
We can go over some other. I've seen a bunch of
Emmys
trailers
last night too.
What's that?
The Emmys were last night too.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize that. So there's other shows other than Disney shows and movies that are coming out that I've seen some stuff for that I wanted to talk about because they look really fucking cool.
Yeah.
One is an upcoming show on AMC, animated show called Pantheon. Have you seen this?
No. AMC?
At AMC. It starts October 1st.
Okay.
It is basically, from what I gathered from the trailer, about a society. It's society as we move forward, and moving forward with technology to where people start they find the technology to upload your consciousness to a computer.
Okay.
And they do it to one person, and he's in the cyberverse by himself for a long time, and they start putting other people in there. And I think they become this pantheon. They're like the gods. Because they realize they can do anything they want in there. But anyway, it looks really cool. The animation looks good. The show itself, well, I'm not sure about the premise. We'll see. I'll give it a shot. It does look entertaining. Another one that I saw is coming to Prime on October 21st is The Peripheral. And this one, it's another futuristic show, and basically you put on like this headgear, kind of like the BD equipment in Cyberpunk, and it basically takes you into another world. And they say the one main character says something about it's not real, and they're like, no, it just hasn't happened yet. And so it's supposedly like showing futuristic things and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'll check that one out too. It's another sci-fi-y show that it looks like it's going to be kind of a sci-fi mystery type of thing. There's going to be like some sort of thing that she's got to solve and find out what's going on type of thing.
Okay.
Action adventure. And then there's a movie coming to Netflix on October 19th. That when I saw it, I'm like, it looks like it's a young adult book, based on a young adult book, which it is. You're based on a young adult series. But the more I watch the trailer, the more I'm like, okay, the effects alone make me kind of want to watch this. And it's called School for Good and Evil.
Oh, yeah. It looks cool.
It actually looks really cool. At first I was like, I don't know. And then I started watching and I'm like, okay, that actually looks kind of cool. Basically, the premise there is that all of the fairy tale heroes and villains go to this school, and they are taught how to be heroes and villains.
Yeah, because they have to defend the balance between good and evil.
Yes.
Charlize Theron is in it. Yeah.
Oh, is she?
It's really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like I think she runs the evil part of the school.
Okay.
She's like the headmistress.
But yeah, that one also looks good. That's coming to Netflix on October 19th.
Looks really cool. Really cool.
But yeah, other than that, Thor: Love and Thunder is now on Disney Plus.
It is. Apparently, they made some sort of change that people are kind of squawking about, something to do with some digital effect change.
Mm.
I don't know. I haven't
And
heard
then
of this.
Morpheus is now on, yeah, is that what it is? Morbius. That's it. I'm like, why could I not think of the name? Morbius is now on Netflix.
Yeah, apparently. I haven't watched it yet. I bought the DVD. And
I haven't watched it yet.
Apparently, it is defying. I actually pulled this up. Morbius continues to defy critical reviews to become second most popular movie on Netflix US right now. It's Morbin time again. Marvel and Sony's Spider-Man spinoff Morbius has been climbing up Netflix streaming charts. The movie reached the platform in the US on the 9th and is already at number 2 in their top 10 film list, only behind the Netflix original film End of the Road. Morbius stars Jared Leto. I'm not going to go into this. Matt Smith is also in the film. The superhero movie opened with a mediocre box office on April 1st, drawing worldwide total of $164 million. Now, when you really think it, that's a lot of money, $164 million. But if it cost them $100 million to make it, made us money back plus a bit. But then they also, they spent a lot of money on promotional stuff.
I would say that's still considered a flop.
Still considered a flop. You have to make double the amount of money made that they spend on it to be considered even for it to break even, from what I understand. However, despite the movie has seemingly remained popular with viewers, Morbius currently has 71% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes compared to a 15% score with critics. It's one of those movies that is completely divided the critics and the fans. Fans really dug it. Critics hated it. So I am going to check that out probably sooner rather than later.
I want to check it out too.
I'm curious as all fuck. I've always liked the character of Morbius in the comics. He's a character that started off as a misunderstood villain and became kind of an anti-hero, and then went back to a villain, and then went back to an anti-hero. And then this movie, he's supposed to be kind of an anti-hero. So, and I like Jared Leto. I got to admit, as an actor, I kind of like him.
Now I know you're not caught up on House of the Dragon, are you?
No, I'm one behind, I think.
Are you? Have you watched the first 3 then?
I think so.
So 3 is.
I got to the point. I think when we left off, it's where the Targaryen prince, what's his name? Matt Smith's character.
Yeah.
Is dragging that corpse of
so you did see that one. So I just watched that one. I haven't watched this week's yet.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about that just for a minute because I was very against Matt Smith being cast in that role. I don't like. I'm not a fan of Matt Smith. I've always said that I didn't care for him as a doctor. I just don't care for him. I don't think he's all that great.
You joke about the fact that he belongs on Easter Island with the rest of the other big-headed.
Yes.
Characters. Yes.
And while I still am not a fan, I will give him credit in that I thought his acting in this latest episode was fantastic.
I gotta admit, I mean, he is
didn't
impressing the shit out of me.
have a line. He never spoke. He didn't have one line in that show, but what his facial expressions, his visual, the things he did visually, I thought were fantastic. And to me, I mean, I got to give him props for that. Still not a big fan, but
personally, I am really liking. Oh, it's gonna be 81 tomorrow. Sorry, just looking at my phone. I was looking for something that I thought I had on my phone for tonight, but it's not on here. One of my friends was like, wasn't sure if he was going to be right for the role and everything, but with the wig and I mean, he looks like a Targaryen, and he's really killing it, man. I mean, he's actually a pretty interesting part of the show, and I know there were a lot of people that had some problems with the pilot, with the first episode, but I think the show is really growing as the show progresses. I think it's really growing. In fact, I mean, there's so much. Huh?
This last episode, they jumped 2 years too. So.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. They jumped like, I mean, they went from like him from the king announcing his betrothal to the hand's daughter to 2 years later, when now they got a son and she's pregnant with another child.
Yeah, it's the son's second name day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we see the king's daughter kill a boar. We see they were hunting that white stag and they couldn't find it. Where I think we're starting
to show itself to
the princess, right?
The princess,
and we're
Princess
seeing,
Rhaenyra.
yeah, and I think we're seeing the I think we're starting to see the king descend into madness. I mean, part of it was the drink, but
I don't know that he's descending into madness because he's not the Mad King. He's not the Mad King.
No, but it runs in the family though.
But I don't think he's going to go bad. I think he's
stressed.
He's stressed because everyone's telling him that he needs to make his son the heir, and he doesn't want to, and he's also, you got to remember,
I made the princess an heir for a reason.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that he's got the wounds from the throne that won't heal.
Right. Yeah. That's why his finger almost went, they almost lost a finger, and that's why he had that wound on his back that wouldn't heal and stuff like that. That's fucking fucked up. And that's from the throne?
Yeah, it's all from the throne. Those are from the throne.
Like tetanus and shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I think. I think it's he's got infections that they can't get rid of.
Yeah, pretty wild. We actually looked at it. You know how he puts his hand in that thing of maggots?
Yeah.
To clean, and they'll eat the dead flesh off of his thing. We looked it up. That actually was a thing they used to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's right there along with leeches.
Yep. Exactly. So, House of the Dragon. I think it's decent. It's not. I don't know if I like it quite. This is very weird. I don't know if if I like it quite as much as the original Game of Thrones, but
I don't.
But I'm liking it so far.
I'm still watching it, but I don't. I think it's more. I think it's closer to last few seasons of Game of Thrones than early Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And
now, how would you compare it? Have you watched? Because I haven't watched any of the Rings of Power yet.
I have not watched that yet. Renee and I wanted to finish Sandman, which we've gotten through the 10 episodes. We are about to watch the bonus episode.
Okay.
And then we're going to start Rings of Power.
I'm thinking I want to do the same thing. So I want to finish up a couple other things.
Sandman is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, I know. I see a lot of people are going back and forth about this Rings of Power and House of the Dragon. It's very much in competition for each other, and it's interesting because both of them are catching hell from racist motherfuckers that are griping about the casting people of color in these roles, and it's amazing to me, guys. It's a fictional fantasy world. Guess what? It's okay that elves are black. Totally fine. It's okay. Calm the fuck down.
You know why? Because there aren't any actual elves.
Exactly. It's exactly.
And even if there were, who cares?
Sláinte. I mean, fuck, dude. They had the same fucking issue when they cast Idris Elba as Heimdall in Thor. Fuck all of you off. Anybody that has a problem with that can fuck right off. I don't. I mean, it really. So,
Yep.
Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna let's. You know what? I'm gonna cleanse my palate on that one.
Okay.
Let's. I'm gonna roll through a couple of things.
Okay. I had one other show that I wanted to talk about. I don't know how caught up are you on Harley?
I'm only 2 episodes in.
Okay, dude. I just watched episode 8. This show is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Episode 8 was so goddamn good. I wanted to watch 9 right away, and I haven't had a chance to yet.
I know I've watched at least the first 2, and I was like, holy shit, the show just keeps getting better and better and better with each episode.
Just some of the Easter eggs they drop and shit like that are just.
Oh yeah, well, like the fact that okay, I watched the first 3 episodes, but the fact that what's his name, the actor, it was actually him in the second episode where Clayface is the chair. And
James Gunn.
James Gunn's chair. That was actually James Gunn. And the actor who's playing Thomas Wayne was actually
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, William Robert, as he called him. That was really him, and it's like fucking awesome, dude. The next one I have is number 4, A Thief, a Mole, and Orgy.
Yeah.
So holy shit. This show just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, it does.
Each fucking episode.
Speaking of shows that keep getting better and better and better, sorry, I know I'm putting you off again, but Lower Decks is. I've watched the first 2 episodes, and fuck, it's another show that just keeps getting better and better and better.
I haven't gotten into the new season of Lower Decks yet. Like again, I'm so swamped with work right now, so I am falling behind.
What I love is that they bring back actors to do the voices. Like there's one in this one that they're playing like a Klingon board game / like role-playing game type thing.
Oh, really?
And it's one of the Klingons from, I forget the guy's name. Renee knows it because she's watching DS9. But he plays a big role on DS9. He's the guy that has like one eye.
It's Martok.
Martok, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they actually, he's the host of the game on the tablet.
J.J. Hertzler.
Yeah, and they actually bring him on. He actually comes back to do the voice.
That's funny as hell. That's awesome. Yeah, I actually met him at one of the Comic-Cons. He's actually really fucking cool.
But that's it for me. Lower Decks, dude, it's fucking fantastic.
You don't got to sell me on Lower Decks, man. I've been looking forward to season 3 since season 2 ended. I mean, it's fucking amazing. That show is. I mean, the reason why. Yeah, Martok. Yeah, this is the reason why I am it's one of the reasons why I continue to pay for Paramount Plus. Because for the Star Trek, it's amazing. All of the shows.
All right, so what do you got?
Let's see. Okay, they revealed a new Captain America video game, a new video game coming out later on in 2023. It's going to feature Captain America during World War II, teaming up with the Black Panther at the time. Now, if you know the history, it is not T'Challa. It would be either T'Challa's father, or more than likely T'Challa's grandfather. So there is a trailer for it right now. It looks fucking amazing. I was trying to find the actual name of it, but I wasn't able to find it right now. Let's see. The Marvel Midnight Suns release date is now set for December after multiple delays for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X, that is. It is the new Marvel game, Midnight Suns. It features a bunch of the Marvel magical characters, with also a bunch of several of the characters that aren't magical that have then been kind of souped up using magic. So Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, teaming up with teaming up with Doctor Strange, Wolverine. Wolverine is in as well. But Doctor Strange, Magic, Blade, I think Ghost Rider as well. But this game is due out in December. It's looking pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited about it, actually. So you might want to check that out. Midnight Suns. Take a look at the trailer. Let's see. They also today released today. Nintendo released the trailer and the name for the sequel to The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. The new sequel, which comes out May 12th, has been revealed. It was revealed today, called Tears of the Kingdom. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. The first game came out in 2017, so it's been a minute since the original game. But they are also saying, many people can say that Breath of the Wild is the greatest Zelda game ever made, and easily one of the greatest video games ever made. It is a game changer, for lack of a better term. I've never played it myself, but I have seen it played. I've watched it played on Twitches, and it is only available on, on the Switch, and it is just an absolutely beautiful game and very well done. So y'all might want to check that out as well.
I've never been a Switch guy, or really a Nintendo guy.
I was a Nintendo guy for a long time. Loved Legend of Zelda. I played the first 2 Zelda games, but then I just never had a system that played them after that. You know, I had a computer for a very long time. I had a Nintendo, and then I had pretty much didn't get another game system until I got a computer. And then I did get another game, and I had a computer for a long time, and it was a computer gamer. And then I got a PlayStation 2, and
goodbye Nintendo.
PlayStation guy.
Yeah.
Huh?
And goodbye Nintendo.
And right. Well, I was,
Yeah.
I just never.
About the only games that I would want to play on the Switch are going to be like the Zelda games, and there's really not anything else that I would want to play. So
Skyrim is available on the Switch as well,
but it's also available on the PlayStation.
Right, it's available on everything. So it's available on your phone pretty much soon. It's going to be available on your refrigerator. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, see, I grew up with Ataris in the house and didn't really get into the original Nintendo. I had a girlfriend that had one, and that's where I would play it. But and then after that, I got into more of I got the Genesis, and then I went the Genesis route rather than the Nintendo route.
Aha, you dig it. Indiana Jones 5 is definitely Harrison Ford's last time in the role. The actor confirmed it. He is donezo with Indiana Jones, which is probably wise considering the man is pushing 80, or is somewhere around there. There are some really great some footage that's coming out. People are really excited about it.
He is 80.
He is 80. In fact, there was a recent picture taken of him with Ke Huy Quan, who played Short Round and has recently returned to acting. He was recently in the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, which people have been lauding him for, because he was like I left acting for the longest time because there just weren't any roles for guys like me, and now there are, thanks to things like Shang-Chi. Now doors are opening up for Asian actors, and he was able to return and was lauded for his role in that movie. So that is pretty cool. Shall we talk about some of the new stuff that has been revealed, that was revealed over the weekend at D23? Or
sure. We can talk about that.
All right.
So much stuff.
So much stuff. Mostly they dealt a bit with Phase 4, because we're kind of in Phase 4 now. We still got some stuff coming up with Phase 4. Werewolf by Night, the Disney Plus special, is coming out. Release date is October 7th of 22. A black and white trailer for Werewolf by Night was released there, with Gail Garcia Bernal as the titular lycanthrope. Now, I'm sure when I tell Stella about that, she's going to be flipped, because she really digs this particular actor. The furry hero, also known as Jack Russell, made his comic book debut in 1972 in a 1972 issue of Marvel Spotlight before having his own series. He's a descendant of the lycanthropes, a mystically changed group of humans who can become werewolves even when the full moon's not out. The character's comic series went on to introduce Moon Knight, played on the small screen by Oscar Isaac. The second character to use the Werewolf by Night name was Jake Gomez, who was only introduced just last year. So coming up, that's October 7th. That's right around the corner. Black Panther Wakanda Forever, November 11th, 22. We've talked about this a bit. They've been releasing more and more trailers featuring the various characters and stuff. It says with the trailer's indication, it's going to be a fitting and wonderful tribute to Chadwick Boseman's legacy, the man who played the Black Panther, who died tragically. Well, it was a tragic passing, but it was cancer, so it wasn't like he died of this horrible accident. So there's they haven't revealed who's in the new suit yet, but it does seem to be a female shape. So I think we are going to see probably the sister going to be taking over, but who knows? It could be one of the Dora Milaje. It could be the Queen, for all we know. Wakanda Forever introduces Dominic Thorne's Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, to the MCU alongside Tenoch Huerta's Namor, who looks to be set to be an antagonistic force. We're ready and set for Namor's underwater empire to fight the Wakandans. So it's Atlantis will be invading Wakanda. It looks like it is also really cool that they seem to have given Atlantis sort of a South American, almost Aztec kind of look. So
yeah, I would have gone with Polynesian for the.
Maybe it looks like almost like, well, you would have gone with that, okay?
Yeah.
But it looks like it's very much like a South American, but I think it might even have some elements of like
But I guess,
Polynesian too.
Yeah, I guess that would actually make more sense because Polynesian, that's Pacific, and Atlantis is supposed to be in the Atlantic. So
in the Atlantic, right? So it does look like it's going to be really cool. The exclusive footage from the movie debuted at D2322, which it depicted a battle between Namor and M'Baku, which is the great ape. Gave us another look at Aneka and showed Queen Ramonda dealing with the new global interest in Wakanda's vibranium. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the footage also revealed a team trying to steal vibranium and being stopped by Wakandans, as well as a hint as who the next Black Panther may be. Coming up next, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special from Disney Plus. That is set to come out in December. They haven't given an official release date yet, and it looks like it's going to be, considering the much mocked Star Wars Holiday Special, it's a slight risk seeing the Guardians attempt a similar one off December release, but here we are. And James Gunn's already filmed the special, promising one of the greatest MCU characters of all time will be in the special. I'm betting on Howard the Duck, but we shall see.
Yeah, probably.
And then it gets into Marvel.
Will they have an Ewok?
Who knows? We shall see. Marvel Phase 5, we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is scheduled for February 7th, 23, which will be featuring Kang the Conqueror, who will be in the film. Jonathan Majors playing the villain, having previously appeared as the variant Hugh remains in Loki. The other cast members returning will be the Ant family.
When he walks out on stage, he always does the whoa.
Yeah. We have Evangeline Lilly as Hope. We have Michael Douglas as Dr. Hank Pym. Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne. While Catherine Newton joins the cast as Cassie Lang. Bill Murray also has a role in the movie, while Corey Stoll is rumored to be playing MODOK. We know the villain will be in the movie. We just don't have confirmation who will play him. But hail, if Bill Murray's going to be in the movie, that's I'm already sold on it. Secret Invasion. Now we have a new trailer for the Secret Invasion Disney Plus.
This is one of the ones I was going to bring up. See, I wasn't going to just run through the list. I was going to just talk about certain ones. So we could actually get into them a little bit.
You go then with this. Go ahead.
Secret Invasion. Yeah, it's basically it's the return of Nick Fury. He's getting his own
spring
show.
Of 23.
Yes. When of 23? Because I just saw 23.
Spring of 23.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. It's basically he's coming back to Earth. He's got, and what's weird though is in some of it he's got two eyes, and some he's still got the patch on. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
It's still that cloudy eye with the scars on it. He's just not wearing his patch, I think.
No, it was a regular eye in one of the scenes, and the scars were not nearly as out there as they were.
I have to take a closer look at the trailer. It could maybe maybe that's not him, maybe that's a Skrull that doesn't get in the face right, it is going to be the first this is going to be the first thing that is centering exclusively on having Nick Fury as the main character of this thing.
But I'm looking forward to it. It looks fantastic. They show him coming back and talking with Hill. And
Colby Smulders is returning as Maria.
And she basically is like, you left me.
Yeah.
You left me to fend for myself. You just took off for space. You've been avoiding Earth for years.
Yeah.
And now you come back and need my help?
Yeah. And he's like, well, this time's different. So we are talking about Secret Invasion in the comic books that basically dealt with the Skrulls having over the years invading the Earth and slowly capturing and replacing various superheroes and various supervillains and just infiltrating the superhero community, and then invading the planet, wanting to turn Earth into a new Skrullos because they felt that they were a group of Skrulls that felt that they were divinely directed by their gods, that this was to be their new homeland, that Earth was to be their new homeland. So they invaded. And now for those of you guys who don't know, there was a character, and there is a character known as the Super Skrull in the Fantastic Four. He was one of their villains. He was a Skrull that had the powers of all 4 members of the Fantastic Four. In Secret Invasion, they created a slew of Super Skrulls that all had multiple powers from multiple different superheroes. And it was actually really fucking cool. So it was a really, really cool storyline. It was one of the better ones that happened over the last few years. Which has been probably a good 10 years by now. But it's really, really cool. This show is also going to feature Ben Mendelsohn's Talos, the Skrull character that was introduced in Captain Marvel, and Emilia Clarke, who was, of course, Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, will also be featured in this movie or in the show. Some people have said that she will be playing the Skrull Empress, but I don't know if that is true, if that is the case. That's unlike Kingsley Ben Adir's character, a seemingly evil Skrull who debuted in the Secret Invasion footage that premiered at San Diego Comic-Con. So, but yeah, Emilia Clarke's character is apparently supposed to be on the side of good. We don't know. So they are keeping playing their cards pretty close to the chest. But dude, I'm down, man. This looks fucking badass.
It does.
Yeah. So we also have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th of 23. Looking like the return of all of the cast that you know and love. Probably not with Gamora at first. I'm guessing that we're going to, although I do know she's in the film because I follow her on Instagram and I've seen her in the makeup and stuff like that. So she is in the film. It is apparently James Gunn's last run at these characters.
Supposedly the characters are done after this.
Yeah, we know for certain that the movie will explore Rocket's origins with the High Evolutionary, played devilishly by Chukwudi Iweju, having a major role. You might remember him from the Peacemaker TV show. Other newcomers include Will Poulter as the much-anticipated Adam Warlock, and Borat 2 breakout Maria Bakalova as Cosmo the Space Dog. I love it. She was the girl that played the daughter in Borat 2. Perhaps even stranger, she's not just the voice, but also performing the dog's movements. So she's going to be mocapping Cosmo the Space Dog. That's great. I'm excited. Echo, another Disney Plus series, which is coming out summer of 23, which is going to be the show that will be following Secret Invasion. After debuting in the Hawkeye series, Echo returns with Alaqua Cox, once again playing the deaf Native American hero. We know for certain that Charlie Cox's Daredevil will appear in the series alongside Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. It's the MCU rematch of the century playing out in the Disney Plus series. I enjoyed her appearance in Hawkeye, and I am, looking forward to this one. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, all right.
What I really like is that she's actually deaf, and that it actually is someone who is deaf that's cast for it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and indigenous too. So, we have the Marvels, late July 28th of next year.
Which that panel, when they announced, they brought everybody out and we're talking with them, and Brie Larson came out and was like, she's like, I'm just excited that I've got a team now. Yeah.
It's the sequel to Captain Marvel. We'll see Brie Larson's hero return alongside Iman Vellani's Ms. Marvel and WandaVision's Monica Rambeau, who becomes the hero Photon. Nia DaCosta, who recently helmed the Candyman reboot, sits in the director's chair, while Zawe Ashton has been cast as a mysterious villain. Hey, I'm in. I mean, I really liked Ms. Marvel. I thought that was sweet. It was really cool. I didn't hate Captain Marvel. I mean, it underperformed a bit, and I wasn't, there were issues with it, but I liked it overall, and I don't have a particular problem with Brie Larson in the role. I think if she gets a little bit better script, maybe the script will be a little bit better. Who knows? We'll see. And I'm also down to see Monica Rambeau. I've always liked Monica Rambeau in the comics.
My thing is where the hell was Captain Marvel during Infinity War? Why did she show up so late? Why wasn't she there already? There couldn't have been anything more important in the universe.
Right. Agreed.
And she could have ended that a lot fucking quicker.
Damn right. We also have Loki season 2, summer of 23. Also summer of 23.
Which that one was a cool panel when they came out because how do you say his name? Ki Hai Kwan is going to be in it.
Right. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's coming. He's going to be in that, and they introduced him and brought him out, and he walked out and he looks around. And he's like, "Wait, this isn't the Indiana Jones panel?"
That's great. That's fucking great, man. I'm excited. That should be fun. That's cool. There's not a whole lot here in this article about it. We also have the Blade movie. It's November 3rd, so next year. The Ebony Blade, seen in the Eternals, is expected to appear in the movie, which will be directed by Mogul Mowgli's Bassam Tariq and written by Stacey Osai Kufler, who previously worked on HBO's Watchmen. Delroy Lindo and the Underground Railroad's Aaron Keir are both on the cast, with Maharasha Ali to play the titular character Blade. Ironheart, fall of 23. It's another TV show. The character will be introduced in Wakanda Forever. AKA Riri Williams, Ironheart will debut in Black Panther before having her own solar series on Disney Plus. Not a whole lot is known about the show at this early stage, but like in the comics, we can expect Riri to have a few ties to Iron Man. Dominic Thorne appeared in the If Beale Street Could Talk, and Judas and the Black Messiah plays the lead character. I actually do not know a whole lot about this character, about Riri. I know she is a genius, genius teenage girl, and that she essentially, because she revered Tony Stark so much, she built her own suit of armor that, and then tweaked it and to become her own kind of armored superhero. So could be great. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, Disney Plus series of fall of 23 into, so we're looking at late 23 into early 24. Is going to be the spinoff from WandaVision featuring Catherine Hahn. There's not a whole lot, but it says could potentially tie into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We'll see. Daredevil, Born Again, Disney Plus series. Spring of 24, Charlie Cox's Daredevil is everywhere, having returned in Spider-Man No Way Home and going on to appear in She-Hulk and Echo. Daredevil's finally getting his own series. Now, they did also, real quick, they did premiere a mid-season trailer for She-Hulk, which features him prominently. Considering the comic book storyline, Born Again has already been adapted into live action. The Defender saga is more likely that it's just a cool name to mark Cox's comeback as the character. It was also revealed, Charlie Cox himself has said that this is a reboot. This is not a continuation of the Netflix series, even though they are bringing back several of the actors, pretty much the entire cast, I believe. So that is pretty awesome.
I saw him come out, and him and D'Onofrio were out on stage. D'Onofrio was out for Echo and for Daredevil, and he was talking about just being so happy to be back and getting to do it with D'Onofrio again, and how he's like it's just a weird feeling to have done this several years ago and now be starting over again with the same thing. He's like he's like I can't wait, but it's it is going to be something different.
Cool.
The thing that a lot of people are complaining about is the pictures, in that Daredevil's costume isn't just red.
No, it's yellow too. Yeah,
and that it looks too much like Iron Man.
Well, the thing about it is Daredevil's initial costume when he first premiered was red and yellow. So he didn't do go full red until much later on. So I think that's one of the reasons maybe why they're doing it. We also have Captain America: New World Order. It's a movie, May 3rd of 24. We're getting into 24 now. And it will be featuring Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, who's now taken over the name. He's getting a solo movie. The Cloverfield Paradox director Julius Ono will direct a script from Falcon and Winter Soldier writers Malcolm Spellman and Dalan Masson. Little else is known about the project, though there may be some comic book clues that hint at a Red Skull return. It was revealed at D23 that Tim Blake Nelson who played the character played essentially the character of the leader, and or the character that would become the leader in 08's Incredible Hulk, would be returning for the New World Order.
Yep.
So he will be playing the leader, who was, for those of you who don't know, was a gamma radiated Hulk villain that instead of becoming incredibly strong, he became, his brain grew, and he
got like a triangle head.
It became, originally it was more like just straight up and down, and then later on he was further mutated to where it became more of a bulbous, like his brain had just kind of overtaken his whole head. And then later on again, I think he mutated again. It was a little more like that. So I don't know. I'd have to look at what he looks like in the comics now. I think he died too at one point. So we'll see. But hell, that'd be cool. I'm down. I really like Tim Blake Nelson in the Watchmen show. It was really cool. One of the things that I'm really excited about, I really got a big kick out of this, is the release. They have a release date for the movie, the Thunderbolts movie, which is July 26th of 24, and releasing the cast number, or like
they brought them out on stage.
Yeah, which fucking kills me. I'm absolutely delighted about.
There was only one that surprised me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to read them off, and you tell me which one it was that surprised you. So at D23, the Thunderbolts were revealed, consisting of Red Guardian, David Harbour from Black Widow.
Yep.
Which I'm absolutely here for. I loved him in Black Widow. He was great.
It still fits.
It still fits. I love the Russian accent that he did the whole time. He was so, are you on your period or something? Just it's great. John Walker, Wyatt Russell from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, became the U.S. agent, and I knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
We have Ghost, Hannah John Kamen from.
Knew that one was coming too.
From the Ant-Man and the Wasp. We also have the Taskmaster, Olga Kurylenko, also from Black Widow. We have Yelena, also from Black Widow, played by Florence Pugh.
Yeah, they didn't bring those two out on stage, but yeah.
Oh no?
Yeah.
Okay. And Bucky Barnes.
That's the one that surprised me.
Okay. But that's cool. But in the most recent incarnation of the Thunderbolts, the Winter Soldier was leading it in the comics. So
okay, I didn't know that because I've never really followed the Thunderbolts, but
and if Sam is going to get his own movie in the new Captain America movie, I think the Winter Soldier deserves one too. And I think this is where, he's not getting his own movie, he's getting an ensemble film. Yeah. But I like the fact that we're going to see some more.
I just see lots of conflict between him and the U.S. agent.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna argue all the fucking time. Other previous Thunderbolts from the comics have included Ant-Man and Hawkeye, but both seem unlikely candidates now, as well as Luke Cage and Punisher, who could make the leap from Netflix shows just like Cox's Daredevil, though that's unconfirmed. There will no doubt be a few new names too. So, they've also rumored that the Abomination could show up in the Thunderbolts. We also are going to.
But right now, he is restricted from becoming Abomination.
We are going to see also Julia Louis-Dreyfus return as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, probably as their handler or organizer. She's going to be their Nick Fury. So
yeah, she is. They announced that at T3. I saw their thing.
I'm excited as fuck. I think this is going to be great. I think this is going to be their Suicide Squad. Honestly, if even a couple of these characters don't make it through the movie, I would be surprised. But I'm jazzed as all hell. I think this is going to be great, and I love the fact that we have redemptive story arcs for these characters. Ghost ended the first or her that movie as a redemptive character. We also have, of course,
well, she was doing what she was doing to try and survive,
right? To try and cure herself. Same thing with the Taskmaster, who had been manipulated her whole life. Same thing with Red Guardian, who was manipulated by his government. Even John Walker, who had also been manipulated. So they've all been all these characters, and Yelena, they'd all been manipulated.
The thing is I'll guarantee you, Val is manipulating every single fucking one of them now.
Absolutely. After that, they went into Marvel Phase 6, but these are all like guesses and TBAs and stuff like that. There is a Fall 24 TBA There's also November 8th, 24 is Fantastic Four, but we know very little about that. Several different things that are all on the list, going down to May 2nd of 25, where Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and then November 7th of 25, Avengers: Secret Wars. Now they did say, Feige did say that all of the previous members of the Avengers are no longer the Avengers. There is
no Avengers right now.
Right. So even though the Hulk is still around, we also did see in an episode of She-Hulk that he's off planet at the moment too. So I'm guessing that he's going to Sakaar for whatever reason.
Well, he was on a Sakaaran ship, so.
Right. My guess is we will see a World War Hulk movie on some level, way, shape, or form. There were guesses about Fantastic Four. They did basically say, we're going to reveal more later, guys, and for next year's kind of thing. But they did give us a November 24 release date, which I'm guessing is still fairly tentative. They did talk about Armor Wars a little bit with Don Cheadle.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that release date is TBC.
He's coming back for.
He's going to be in Secret Invasion.
Yeah, Secret Invasion. Yeah.
We also have Avengers: Secret Wars movie, which is November 8th of 25 as well. So I mean, there's a lot of things. The Deadpool 3 movie, Shang-Chi 2 movie, all these the Wakanda spin-off Disney Plus series, the Nova series is still TBC. The Wonder Man Disney Plus series has been TBC. So yeah, lots of stuff that they still are. We're still waiting on.
Now, outside of that, there was some other stuff that came out too. Like we got a trailer for Mandalorian season 3.
Yep. Which,
holy fuck balls, does that look good? I can't really fucking wait.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not until next year. They haven't even said when, I don't think, for that. It's just 2023. But November 30th, we got a trailer for a show that comes out on November 30th, and that's Willow.
Yeah.
And
holy crap.
Holy shit, does that look fucking amazing.
Now we did see like a teaser trailer earlier in the year. This is a full-on, holy no bullshit trailer, and it looks baller. I mean, it's a show, not a movie, it's a show, and it does look really fucking fantastic. And now in this era of fantasy television, where we've got Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon and Rings of Power and Wheel of Time and stuff like that, there's some competition here. This looks unbelievably good.
It does. It looks different. And I love that they're bringing back some of the originals. You got Warwick Davis as Willow. In the trailer, you see him run into one of the brownies.
Yeah, like I think he goes looking for their help or something.
Yeah,
and it's the original guys that they.
Well, it's one of them at least.
Yeah. They and
I will help you.
The character, the actress who played Sorsha is back as well.
Yes.
I've heard that
there's rumors that Madmartigan will be in it.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that might be a stretch because he's
the director said that Madmartigan is a huge part of this, and that I think it's just going to be a cameo. CD. I think you're going to see him in a certain thing. You may even see him. It may be a thing where part of the thing that sparks everything is that Madmartigan gets killed or something like that.
Well, I'm all about it. Bring it on.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, honestly, I just sat there just like staring at the TV because it looked so fucking good.
Yeah.
And so did Mandalorian. Mandalorian. I mean, they're bringing back Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan. He's basically going to Mandalore.
Yep.
And stuff. It just looks badass.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you hear her say, "Your cult destroyed our planet, or destroyed our culture," or something like that.
Yeah. Like holy smokes, But
yeah, so much stuff.
So much stuff. Let's see. Switching gears here, a bunch of, one thing, we also do have a new season of Cobra Kai just dropped, season 5.
Yep.
I
haven't finished season 4 yet.
I've only watched season 1, and I've got to go back and finish these up because the show is really fucking good. And there's so much to watch. I'm like, I'm going to come back to this, and I just haven't done that yet. But yeah, that has just dropped recently, and people are saying, hey, looks pretty good.
Hey, Sneak Goat.
Doing good things. Sneak Goat. What else? Assassin's Creed. They just dropped a bunch of stuff about new Assassin's Creed games. The Assassin's Creed Hex, Hexe, is rumored to center around the witch trials of Holy Roman Empire's Europe. Assassin's Creed codename Hex may scare the crap out of us. We got something like that. We got Assassin's Creed Red, everything we know so far about AC Japan. So it's an Assassin's Creed game to take place in Japan. And then Assassin's Creed Mirage. Mirage takes place in 9th century Baghdad with a much younger Basim as the central character. So if you're a big Assassin's Creed fan, we got a lot to look forward in the next couple of years. A lot of big games coming out from that. Also, a trailer for the new God of War Ragnarok was released as well, and it teases tension between Kratos and Atreus. So that game is due out, let's see, I think later on this year, if I remember correctly. It doesn't give me a date on in this particular article. But Ragnarok, I believe Ragnarok's due out in November. So awesome. We forgot the day after we did our show last week. CD Projekt Red finally released the name of the DLC, the new DLC coming for Cyberpunk 2077. They've also been patching the hell out of it. I mean, the game is just apparently just getting better and better as the patches are just fixing the game. From what I understand, it's almost a whole brand new game. So, guys, if you have not had the chance, or if you're not or not taken the opportunity to check out Cyberpunk 2077, now is the time to do it. Or hell, give it a couple more months, wait until apparently early 23, I believe we'll be getting the new DLC for it and expanding it. It will take place within the interior of the game. Let's see, I'm gonna find it real quick.
We got to make sure we leave room to talk about She-Hulk.
Yep, I'm just want to do this, and then we will get into that. DLC is called.
Speaking of Cyber, go ahead.
It's called. Oh, fuck balls. Let's just go back. It's called Phantom Liberty, and there is a trailer for it. So, the release, they're saying, yeah, they did not give an official date. The game first came out in December of 2020, right before the pandemic, and the release date is sometime in 23. My guess is in the first 2 quarters. That is my call.
Yeah. There's a Cyberpunk animated show on Netflix now too.
Yeah, there is. There was. Did you know What If got nominated for an Emmy for Best Animated Series, along with Rick and Morty, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and Anthem, which won the show on Netflix. Or no, Arcane. Excuse me.
Arcane. Okay. Yeah, I haven't finished that. That's another one I got to get back to and finish.
Mm-hmm. Supposed to be spectacularly good. So, She-Hulk,
episode 4.
Oh my God. So when the show opened, I was a little pissed because the shitty magician on screen or on the stage, he kept saying Johnny Blaze,
Johnny Blaze, yep.
Johnny Blaze, and I thought he was saying Johnny Blaze, and I'm like, my God, if this is the way they introduce Ghost Rider, I'm gonna be fucking mad. But it is not. It was Donnie Blaze. Now the interesting thing is the actor is actually the husband of the woman who directed the episode, and or might even be the director for the show, or the, I don't know, something like that. But you've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He's a character actor in a bunch of stuff. Again, the show is firing on all cylinders. I think She-Hulk is just getting consistently better with every episode, and funnier too. I mean, it's got so much heart, and it's so silly, but at the same time, is also addressing pretty serious issues, and taking and not taking itself, but at the same time, taking the piss out of itself too.
So yeah, so at the beginning though, we also get introduced to, because he looks for a volunteer from the audience.
Yeah.
And he brings this drunk woman up on stage, and
it's a woman we've all seen. This is a woman we've all been to a club or a restaurant and we've seen this woman.
What's your name? Madisynn, with 2 N's and 1 Y, but it's not where you think it is.
Yeah. I loved when she was in court later on and the guy like scratched it out and respelled it. You could say that Donnie Blaze's lawyer was like, oh, okay, it's not where I thought it was.
But yeah, so he winds up, he's doing a like a flower trick, and it's his show is bombing.
Yeah.
And
it's not terrible, it's just not good,
Yeah. And it's basic magic tropes.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It's nothing special. And
but he's trying to make it flashy by going, Donnie Blaze.
Yeah.
Donnie Blaze. He's trying to do showmanship, and it just doesn't have it, you
know? And so he his manager, yes man, whatever, who is played by a 104-year-old actor.
What? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, Leon Lamar.
He's 104?
That's what I was seeing, yes. He is 104 years old.
How the fuck, man? How the fuck is he 104?
Let's see, Leon Lamar. It's got his. It doesn't have his thing there.
Leon Lamar. It should have his birthday,
Age.
Full bio.
Yeah, he was born in 1919, so he's 103 years old. They were saying 104 in the article I saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 103.
Wow. Damn. That's wild.
It's the latest calculation, they're saying. I don't know if it's that he doesn't actually have a birth certificate or what, but he old.
Yo. Cornelius P. Willows, yeah.
Yes. And anyway, so he's like, come on, do it. And so you see Donnie pull out a sorcerer ring.
A sling ring.
A sling ring, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts it on and he starts doing the little circles thing, and a portal opens up behind Madisynn. And you can see it's like a dark, old-fashioned, like fantasy type village with heads on pikes, and which at first glance kind of look like Skrull heads, actually. Mm-hmm. But they're actually, they believe to be that they later on, hearing some things, they're probably goblin heads. But and they show that and everyone cheers, and then the next scene we see Wong dancing in his camouflage pad,
and you hear the sound, the theme song to The Sopranos.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, no fucking way.
And he goes to sit down on his little like love seat like couch type thing, and a portal opens up and Madisynn drops out
onto his lap.
Yeah, and then kind of stands up and walks away. She's got a heart in her hand, all bloody.
Yeah.
And then she just kind of drops it, and she's like, "Where am I?" And they start talking, and she turns around and sees the TV, and she's like, "No way! this is
I
a
love
great
this
episode. This is the
episode.
one where they kill so and so. And he's like,
Adriana.
yeah, and he's like, oh,
You just ruined it
you
for
just
me.
ruined
Yeah.
it. But
Spoiled it or whatever.
yeah, spoiled.
But the funny thing is, then she goes and she says, "Oh, it's way worse than the episode where Tony, or almost as bad."
No,
as the
that's
episode.
later.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's in court.
No. She says right. No, because I remember it happened, and then she says, because this is why it's funny. She says, "Oh, it's almost as bad as the episode of when Tony kills Chris." And Stella, and we were all watching it. Stella and I are watching the last season,
Oh,
or
it's
the last couple episodes.
Adriana dies or something like that.
Adriana dies in that episode she talks about. But then she says it's almost as bad as when Tony kills Chris. And Stella and I are watching the last season of Sopranos, and we haven't gotten to that episode yet.
Well,
So Stella was like, Tony kills Chris? What? And so this show...
see, I thought that was later because she spoils that for him there, and then she spoils another thing in the courtroom.
I think you might be mistaken.
No, dude, I just fucking watched it. She spoils it. She only spoils one thing there, and then she spoils another one in the courtroom as they're walking out, because when she's in, we'll get to that. We'll skip ahead to where she's in the courtroom, because she's testifying. Basically, they bring her in through a sling ring thing, where they find her at a club, and she's about to get into her high school dance moves. And she comes into the courtroom. She steps back through the portal. It winds up in the courtroom. She looks around and she looks over. She's like, "Wongers."
Yeah, Wongers. They've obviously become pals, you know.
And she goes over and she winds up doing her. She testifies, and she goes back, and at the end, she's like, "Hey, Wongers, can we go get some froyo?" And he's like, "No," and she's like, "We can talk Sopranos."
And he's like, "Okay, fine."
Okay, fine. And then she says something else, and she gives away a spoiler. And I think it's that Tony kills Chris.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, "Ah!" Now every person I know. It was so
funny because she was all just like, because like I said, we haven't gotten to that episode. We're in the last 4 episodes, and Stella's just like, "What?" Yeah.
and what I thought was hilarious is, or one of the things I think is hilarious is, every person I know that has seen this episode is like, "Oh, I hope we see more of Madisynn."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now,
and I was actually said I think she's the next Darcy, but I don't think we're going to see more of her beyond this episode, unfortunately, because the season's done now. I mean, they're not going to, but you know, I don't think they could like predict that she was going to be a popular character, but the fucking internet exploded. People were like, "Oh my God, she is so fucking funny." And I saw somebody actually, a Reddit post where they talked about, well, normally when you meet a character, when they introduce a character like this, like Madisynn, she is a stuck-up kind of mean girl or kind of bitch or whatever else. Madisynn's kind of sweet. She's interested in what you're talking about or watching. She's kind of sweet. She's a bit of a drunk. She's a bit of a party girl. Madisynn King is her name, actually. Yeah. And she, but she's nice. And so people are like, we need more characters like that. And that's why she's resonating.
Well, and when she goes to the courtroom, they're like, state your name. Madisynn, 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think.
It was really funny.
But
and the whole thing came out because Wong approached Jen Walters to sue Donnie Blaze because for basically abusing his powers.
Yep.
And abusing magic, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that actually, so we see Wong and it ends and goes to the She-Hulk opening right after Madisynn first shows up in Carmitage with Wong, and then when Wong basically saying he's going to do something about this, and then we go to Jen, who immediately breaks the fourth wall, saying it was great to see Wong again, wasn't it? Everybody loves Wong. It's like whenever Wong shows up, people love it. It's like giving the show a suit of Twitter armor for a week.
Twitter armor. I loved this. Yeah. I loved it. That's why this show is so meta. That's why this show, because it's making fun of itself. You'd almost think they were making these episodes as, it's like they had a fucking crystal ball and they could see the future. because people have been particularly harsh. Now, from what I've been seeing, most of the response and most of the criticism has been positive as opposed to negative. I mean, it was real negative at first, but now I've been seeing a lot more positive stuff, and people are really liking it. They're liking the story. Yeah, there's still some people that are like, I don't know if I like it, or it's kind of boring, or this, that, and the other thing. I love it. I think it's great. They're talking about, it's showing these superhumans in a casual light. We're seeing She-Hulk.
The other story in here is her trying to date.
Yeah. Yeah. When she meets the guy and they hook up and they go back to her place and she's like, yeah.
Well, at first she's trying to date his Jen.
Right. Yeah. And she can't
get a fucking failing.
Yeah. In fact, the one date she goes out on with, the dude is such a dickhead.
Oh, he's looking at other women. He's checking his phone.
Right. He's just ignoring her, and then like leaves her with the check.
Yeah.
What a dick.
We should do this again.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
Yeah, that's an idea. But that's the thing. Yeah, she's not getting any response. I mean, she's cute. She's got, she's a lawyer. She can take care of herself.
Now, I agree with her friend though. The fact that she used her corporate headshot as her profile picture.
No, that was a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Of course, but overall, I mean, I don't get it. She's cool. She makes a profile as She-Hulk, and she can't.
Ding 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 ding
ding ding ding. Holy shit! Now I've heard a theory. Like one of the dates she goes on as She-Hulk, this guy keeps asking her about her powers.
Yep.
And how she
calls her a specimen.
And called her a specimen. Now, there are some people that are saying that this guy could potentially be the villain or a villain in the story, because they have stated, if you look him up on the IMDb page, it gives him his name from the date, but it also gives him another name, which is like Mutated Hulk or something like that. So my guess is that somehow, and that the guess is that he's going to show up again at some point and as a villain, and that the villains of She-Hulk, the main villains of She-Hulk, like the guys that paid the wrecking crew to try and get a blood sample, are going to be the Intelligentsia. Now, the Intelligentsia were a group of supervillains in the Marvel comics that were all big brain supervillains, like the Thinker and the Wizard and the Mad Thinker or whatever, and and MODOK, and some of these guys that are all scientific guys, right? Now, from what their theories is that the Intelligentsia is going to be turned into a bunch of basically incels that are pissed off at the world for people that other people have superpowers, but they don't. And so they're trying to get them. They're trying to figure out how can we get superpowers. And one of the ways they could probably do it is by poisoning themselves with the blood of a Hulk. Just because you get poisoned with the blood of a Hulk doesn't mean you're going to become one. You'll probably die.
They've stated earlier on is that the reason Jen did is because of her DNA.
They shared a genetic trait for it.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that genetic trait can't show up in other people, but it's probably going to be pretty goddamn rare.
Yeah, well, and that guy also was asking about her skin being invulnerable, and she's like, yeah, it is. He's like, even to like vibranium?
She's like, why, do you have some?
Yeah.
Which probably vibranium would probably pierce her skin.
Yeah.
It's just like adamantium probably would pierce.
But then she meets this really nice doctor.
Yeah, a pediatric oncologist, if I remember correctly. Jesus Christ, talk about a superhero without powers. You're going to be a kid's cancer doctor? Jesus. She meets him. They hit it off. They go back to her place, and then she gets interrupted by Wong, who needs her help.
She's like, now?
Yeah, because Donnie Blaze opened up a portal to hell and released a bunch of demons that are obviously getting bigger and stronger.
I heard them referred to as demon wombats.
Demon wombats. All right. It was really funny. Obviously, She-Hulk comes in.
That can't die.
That can't die, right? These things can't die. And he's like, and she's like, what am I supposed to do? He's like, be a Hulk. Yeah. All right. Current. And it's just gnawing on her finger. Fuck you. that was some funny shit. And then she's like, because this was after that they were in court and after they had basically essentially won. They hadn't won one, but they had basically gotten it to the point where he could continue to do his magic, do his show, and live and practice his art while they did an investigation or something. And but then he fucks up. And so then she's like, are you going to, she looks at him and she's like, are you going now? Are you going
she's covered in demon gore too.
Yeah. She's like, now are you going to accede to our, our demands or whatever it was, or our cease and desist or something like that. They're like, yeah, yes. But it was really great. And then like I said, she goes back to her apartment. She obviously
gets dropped on the couch on top of the guy who's laying there reading a book.
Yeah. God, it was really funny too. I can't remember what the book was, but it was something about feminism.
Yeah, it was like a feminist book.
Yeah. So he's reading the book and so she picks him up like a fucking child and carries him into her bedroom. And you're like, and then she doesn't take at the camera saying like something like, don't judge me or something like that. Goes into her bedroom. And then the sad thing, it kind of pissed me off, is that the next morning she makes a nice breakfast for them. And he's like, he comes out and he's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Jen. This is me, not Paul Green or whatever. And he's like,
oh yeah.
He goes, I've made breakfast. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And you're like, oh, dude, really? And then thankfully she handled it well. She was like, pediatric oncologist is kind of a cliche or something like that.
Nice hot doctor. That's such a cliche.
Yeah, that was it. But I think one of the and then we see her, she gets a delivery at the door and she goes, I know a process server when I see one. And he goes, here you go. And she's being sued because she didn't trademark her name.
She just saw that Titania was cleared of all charges.
Yeah, we've gotten out of jail.
Yeah.
I don't think she was cleared of all charges, but she had gotten out.
No, I think they said she was cleared of all charges too.
Wow, how could she be cleared of all charges?
I don't know, but
I gotta watch this episode again. Anyway, so yeah, and then she finds out she's being sued for copyright infringement.
Because Titania copyrighted the name
She-Hulk. And
trademarked it.
It's a little bit different. Trademark and copyright, two different things. But it was funny because what was wild is that, I mean, like she's talking to Mallory Book, who's another lawyer there, and she's like, how could you not trademark your own name? She goes, I didn't think I had to. And Nikki was like, I thought you didn't even like the name. She was like, well, it's kind of grown on me. I mean, there's some good things about it. I mean, the hair, and like a fabulous hair, and the fact that I can drink and not get drunk, and and stuff like that. So I think we're obviously going to see Titania again. I really like the fact that like how they've changed Titania, though. They've made her into more than just like a girl who was bullied as a teenager and never got over it, got superpowers, and was basically, I'm going to fuck up everybody that ever bullied me. And She-Hulk is now my nemesis because if I beat her, then I've really got a name for myself. And now Titania got her powers from Dr. Doom during Secret Wars, on the Secret Wars planet. And so it was, and ever since then, Titania has always been like, she's the bitch that's stronger than me. I'm going to go for her, or I'm going to try and beat She-Hulk. That was always my thing. So Titania has always been one of those, like, kind of She-Hulk's, I would call her nemesis because She-Hulk has always beat the shit out of her. But she has been one of those reoccurring villains for her. And now she's kind of a frenemy because in the comics, Titania and her husband, the Absorbing Man, they've had them both on this, like, trying to put them on a redemption kick, trying to get them as anti-heroes or whatnot. And so now in the She-Hulk's current comic book, Skeeter McFerrin or Titania have showed up, and they have like a fight club now so that they can get together and spar. And
in the show, she's an influencer.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. They've changed her. They made her this influencer, made her like a complete bullshit influencer, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like, I mean, why wouldn't there be some sort of superhuman character that's trying to be an influencer? And they've been putting out like video clips and stuff where the character is putting up posters over like the She-Hulk posters. She's putting Titania posters and like graffitiing on the She-Hulk posters and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, that is hilarious. So I'm in it to win it, man. I am so excited to see the rest of this.
So one of the other things that came up, and this is one I'm wondering if we will see Madisynn again, is some of the things that Madisynn said in court. One of the things is
actually has been some speculation. You're right.
Yes, because she mentions making a deal with a demon who she can't say who it is, or he'll come reap my soul and my entire family and everyone I love.
Family and friends, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was a little frightening. I actually I even said that when we were watching. I'm like, damn, that was dark, you know.
And she talks about talking to she escaped with the help of a talking goat.
Talking goat?
Yeah, she escaped the goblin realm by with the help of a talking goat, who wanted 6 drops of her blood. And there's
not banging a rel on.
What's that?
That's not banging a rel for anything for me.
Well, I guess there's reference to there is Black Phillip.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And also I guess in something there was I just watched like a thing from the Nerdist today too on this, and they were referencing some of the things, and one of the things that of course Dan Cassidy brought up was Mephisto, because he brought him up all the time in WandaVision and was wrong. So
right, yeah.
He still brings up.
Are we finally going to see Wanda or see Mephisto? I don't think.
But
so. I think it's going to be a while before.
He said something about Mephisto. He goes, yeah, that's right, Mephisto. No, I know I'm wrong. It's just don't. He's like, I just had to say it. But Mephisto has, I guess, appeared as a goat.
Yeah, sure.
As well. So,
sure.
So there's lots of speculation on who this demon might be, and whether or not we're going to see more of whoever that is, and everything in the future. But
I hope so.
I hope we see more Madisynn.
I hope we see more Madisynn. I think though, because the season is over, or the season's been made, I think we won't see her again until next season. But I was guessing. I was like, man, I think she's like the next Darcy. She is funny as shit.
I don't know.
And then of course we got to see the post-credit scene.
Yes.
With her and Wongers.
Watching This Is Us, I think it is.
They were watching like This Is Us, and they were talking
got,
about
like,
drinks.
Like pajamas on, and
she's got like one of those like hooded robes or something like that, like this big thing.
Yeah, with like the face on it and stuff. And
yeah.
And they're eating popcorn and
yeah, they became pals, honestly.
And he's talking about like something with, yak milk, or she's like
yak milk,
and she starts looking around, and she's like, I want to try some yak milk.
Yeah, I was going to try some of that. But then she asks him what his favorite. I think she keeps like asking him like about drinks, like maybe that he's tried and stuff like that. And then she asks him what his favorite drink is, and he goes gin and tonic. And she's like, Wongers, oh my god, and like, But the funniest thing, that was all improv. That shit was not in the script. They improv that shit. They built the scene, and and they put it on the fucking as the post credits.
So I don't know if I sent you this one, but it was something from Fandom that came out like the next day, and it said the Disney Plus Day announcement we're all waiting for, and it's
I saw that.
Madisynn coming 2024.
Well, she got her own poster too.
Yeah.
Her and
one wide, but it's not where you think.
Yeah. Now I will fucking shoot myself in the head if they actually make a show for her.
Well, and then there was also Wongers.
I saw that one too.
It shows everything that he's been in, and it's like you don't realize how many different things he's been in.
Yeah, he showed up a lot. He has showed up. He is the Sorcerer Supreme after all.
Well, now, but he was in Doctor Strange, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, What If, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, and She-Hulk.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of shit, dude. We should wrap things up. It's getting late.
We should.
It's 10
It is.
o'clock
It is
already.
getting late.
Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. If you guys let us know what you guys think about She-Hulk. I am excited to know about what you guys think. Sneak Coot, CD, I mean, everybody that you know, Dutch, let us know what you guys think about the She-Hulk. I think it's probably one of the best shows that Disney Plus has
Renee
put out
says she
so
loves
far.
it.
I hope so. Yeah, their IP is going to outnumber traditional Disney movies soon. I don't think it'll be soon, buddy, but it's gonna because there's a lot of Disney shit. But I truly believe that this show is going to probably be considered one of the best ones. It's going to be up there with Loki and WandaVision because it's different. It's still, I mean, it's very different from all the other things. You know, it's comedy with a lot of heart and some great performances. And some really good sci-fi. Really good special effects. Some people have said that that some of the special effects have like seeing Jen in her Hulk form in certain places is not. It's a little weaker. They've actually the special effects team has actually already come out and said if there is a season 2, we know what to do to make it even better. So,
also, one last thing real quick on her is seeing the beginning scene where she's wearing clothes that are so huge and baggy on her as Jen because she has to grow into the Hulk
yet, and I was talking about this at work today. Yet at the same time, it works for her. You know, she's wearing like a pantsuit that's meant to look kind of loose fitting on her, but it still works even in her Jen form. And then she transforms into She-Hulk. And then it's more form fitting. So I think it's going to be interesting to see her. Unless Bambi with powers. Now we're talking. Jesus, CD.
Now there were a lot of other things in the background. Like there's all sorts of references in the background and stuff like that. Yeah. There's also another QR code for another free She-Hulk comic.
Oh, okay, great.
All of the QR codes that you see in each of the shows are scannable for free digital comics.
Yeah, for sure. So check them out, guys. Read some free She-Hulk comics. They are
this current one. The new one is one of the West Coast Avengers ones.
Oh, great! Yeah, all of the comics are related generally to something that is happening in the show, in the episode. So, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Don't forget to join us on Friday night for our latest episode of Tavern Nights, where we get to play. We're a bunch of average nerds. Not voiceover nerds. We're slightly above average. Play D&D. Guys, be sure to swing in and check us out. We're here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock most of the time. I'm sorry I was running a little late tonight. Work is work. We're here. We're on all the places you can find quality podcasting. Guys, we're on the Google Play Store, iTunes, Stitcher, radio.com, the Odyssey app, Spotify, pretty much everything. So check us out, guys. We can also download and stream all the episodes on nerdswithalcoholshow.com. And Chris always puts up the episode on YouTube a couple of days later.
And I am all caught up on that right now. I actually caught up over the weekend. Everything except for last night's Tavern Talk are because I can't put that up until at least tomorrow. But everything is actually up there right now.
Awesome.
So if you want to check out the last episode of Tavern Nights before this week's show, go ahead and do that. Although that's also still up on Twitch, I think, on VOD. So yeah, at least until Friday. But yeah, you can follow us on most of the social medias. We're on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show. We are on Twitter at Drinking Nerds and Instagram Drinking Nerds. Although we got to get back to posting more stuff on there. I got to go out and start doing more nerds shit again now that the pandemic's mostly over.
We both do.
Yeah, start hitting the shows and stuff like that again.
Mm-hmm.
Taking pictures, posting videos, that type of thing.
Guys, Clerks 3 came to the theaters now. Clerks 3 is in theaters.
Oh, that's right.
Tell us how you know. Which is
the fandom events thing. I definitely want to check that out. I did not get a chance to. I could have gone to see it on my birthday, but I'm going to go drink for free. So
okay.
Instead,
I don't blame you on that one.
Well, yeah, it's the Royal Oak Brewery. I get to drink for free on my birthday.
Well, all right.
But yeah, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. We'll be back on Friday, 7:30 Eastern time. Hopefully Russ will make it on time.
I should be.
I say if not, we'll start without him.
Yes, I should be fine.
But yeah, so I think that's gonna about do it. So on that note.
All right. On that note.
Until next time.
Slot chat.
Okay. That wasn't bad. All right.
Not terrible.
Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.